All right, let's continue our face-off and take a little closer look at the user interface on our two contestants here, the Samsung Droid Charge 4G and HTC Thunderbolt 4G, both available on Verizon. And again, they both run Android 2.2 Froyo as their operating system. The big difference is both of them have a different user interface. On the Droid Charge, it offers Samsung's TouchWiz user interface. You're going to get 7 different panels, as you can see up on top here, by the numbers that you can customize either with Samsung or Android widgets, application shortcuts, bookmarks, or folders. This is their photo frame widget. That's YouTube widget, which is Android. This is Buddies Now, which shows basically a shortcut via Rolodex for messaging and calls. There's a Google search and the different areas that you can search on the phone and web. This is the WeatherBug weather and clock and date widget, which is nice. New addition, the latest version of TouchWiz. They've taken daily briefing and broken it down into 4 separate widgets. So you've got your weather, stock quote, news, and calendar. And again, you can use or not use either any or all of those. God, easy for me to say. Their feeds and updates widget, which is basically tied into Facebook and Twitter, and Slacker Radio and Wikipedia Player or Wiki Player. And what do we have as far as other widgets? Buddies Now we looked at. Calendar is Android. Dual clock is 2 digital clocks, so you've got dual weather. Feeds and updates we took a look at. Home screen, those are all Android. Picture frame I showed you. Program monitor didn't take a look at, but it tells you the number of apps you have running. And other than that, we saw all of those. So there's a look at the widgets. And as far as customizing the home screen, you can go to Edit Page. It's going to give you an overview of all 7 of the panels. You can set any one of those that you would like as your home screen, and also you can drag one down and remove it if you want to have less than 7 panels. On the HTC Thunderbolt, you're going to get HTC Sense as the user interface. And again, you can customize it with HTC or Android widgets, application shortcuts, bookmarks, folders, or contact information. This is one of the 3 calendar widgets. This is one of the 2 RSS feed widgets. This is their Friends Stream widget, which covers Twitter and Facebook. This is their Friends widget, similar to the Rolodex that we saw on the Droid Charge. This is the calendar and, time and weather widget. Stock market, one of 3 stock market widgets, one of 2 music widgets. Google widget as far as what you can search. Back. There we go. A little bit more extensive than what we found on the Droid Charge. YouTube. Power bar widget up there on top, and then the weather widget as well. And again, you can have multiple cities and scroll in between those. There we go. There's our current weather, so you can see it's a little foggy here in beautiful LA. As far as editing your pages, we don't have a specific arrangement for that. In other words, you've got 7, you're stuck with 7 unless you bring in a different launcher. You do have your personalization page, which allows you to display different scenes. And scenes are basically going to be a different background and a different layout and number of widgets available to use. And again, you can make your own wallpapers on both. They both offer live wallpaper. You've got 4 available on the Droid Charge. You've got the typical Android live wallpapers you would expect on the Thunderbolt. Then you have skins also on the Thunderbolt. And you've got 5 different skins, which really give the user interface a completely different look, as you can see there. And then you've got your main menus, or application menus, I guess is what I wanted to say. Is that what I wanted to say? Yeah, application menus. On the Droid Charge, you're going to go right to left, left to right, as you can see here. If you want to customize, you can put it in list view, grid view, or you can edit, in other words, remove or delete, and also allows you to change between panels as far as which application shortcut you have where. On the Thunderbolt, menu operates vertically. Again, you can have a list view. You can also share applications, sort applications alphabetically or oldest, newest, which is nice, and you can remove applications from there as well. Holding down the home keys on both will open up a recent apps application. You'll get the last 6 on the Droid Charge along with the task manager, which is pretty handy. And on the Thunderbolt, you're going to get the last 8. And again, tapping on any one will take you directly to that application. Both of these have notification bars, and their systems are set up differently. You've got connectivity manager shortcuts available on the Droid Charge: Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, mobile data, and auto rotation. Then your notifications would be just below there. Anything you don't handle or clear will be up here, continue to show up in the upper left-hand corner. On the Thunderbolt, you're going to get the last 8 applications, again with your notifications just below that. Home key from the home screen on the Thunderbolt will give you an overview of all 7 of the panels. You can use that as a shortcut. Tapping on it will take you directly to it. Squeezing the screen together will get you back to the overview. On the Droid Charge, as you slide between panels, you'll notice you get some dots up here up at the top. You can use those as shortcuts if your fingers are small enough to slide in between the panels as well. And under main menus on both from the home screen, see if we got anything different here. Not really much of anything other than edit the page. Personalization is a little bit different. We took a look at that. So I think that'll cover it. So there's a look at the user interface on the Droid Charge and HTC Thunderbolt. Alright, let's take a look at the messaging applications on the Droid Charge and HTC Thunderbolt. We'll start with the Droid Charge. Let's head into settings real quick and see what we've got there on our language and keyboard. You can see we have 2 input methods. We have swipe, which is nice, and then the Samsung keypad. Tapping on either one of those will get you directly to the settings for both of those. Let's go in and start putting in a message. And again, you can see this is a swipe keypad. You've got your tutorial down here in the lower left. Access to symbols is right there, also via long press. Speech to text microphone. You can change language up here in the upper left. So let me try this. Call John on Tuesday. Not too bad. I didn't pick up the capitalization on Tuesday. Probably my fault in settings. I could check that. And then again, you have speech to text for our meeting next Wednesday. For our meeting next Wednesday. Spelling's a little unusual, but it works. So call John on Tuesday for our meeting next Wednesday. That's a look at the swipe in landscape. Excuse me, in portrait. There it is in landscape. And again, you've got symbols lower left. Tutorial moves up to the upper left. You still have your speech to text, which is great. And from here, take a look at the Samsung keypad. And you can see speech to text is now lower left, along with numbers and symbols, settings. And then take a look at this in portrait. Happy day. Alright, so there's a look at the Samsung. Also, let's take a look at attachments available. Got a direct link to the camera and video camera, which is nice. Audio as well, and slideshow, so you can send pictures or video or audio and a slideshow. Alright, looks pretty good. Alright, let's take a look at the, let's go into settings first. On our Thunderbolt, language and keyboard, and you can see touch input settings, and basically you have keyboard types. You're going to get 3 keyboard types: QWERTY, phone keypad, and compact QWERTY. You have bilingual prediction, which is pretty slick. I don't think I've seen that before. So let's head back and take a look at the messaging application itself. Compose a new message, and we'll go down here, and you can see here is our keypad, and you can drop the keypad simply by tapping on the little keyboard here. You've got your speech to text, numbers and symbols, and again, numbers and symbols are also available through long press. Call John on Tuesday. That was a mess, but I did get Tuesday. For our meeting next Wednesday. And again, it came up with the same spelling, which was great. And that's a look at it. And again, you have directional keys right to left and up and down. Take a look at it in landscape if I keep from dropping it. There we go. There's your keyboard in landscape. And we'll put in happy holidays. And again, it's a little bit difficult typing around a camera, but that seemed to work quite well. Let's check our attachments. And again, you've got pictures, video, audio. Also application recommendations, easy for me to say. Location, contact vCard, appointment vCalendar card, which is nice, and slideshow. So you've got a few more attachments available on the Thunderbolt. And again, smiley faces are going to be under the menu typically on both. And there you go, insert smiley right there. And now there's a look at the two messaging applications. All right, it's time to wrap up our face-off today between the HTC Thunderbolt 4G and the Samsung Droid Charge 4G, both available from Verizon, with our browser comparison. Don't forget to stop by smartphoneenvy.com, check out the winner of today's face-off along with my written review. I'll also have photos and videos available for your viewing pleasure. If you're watching this on YouTube, simply click on the link in the description. It'll get you over there right away for you to take a look at the photos and video. All right, I've got both of the contestants running off the same Wi-Fi network. I have flash fully enabled on both as well. So what do you say we kick this off? We'll head over to smartphoneenvy.com and see how that goes. And we're off. And it looks like the Thunderbolt wants to get there first. And our winner is going to be Thunderbolt is done. Got all the flash loaded. Nice and smooth. Double tap to zoom in. Pinch to zoom. Dynamically reflows the text so that it fits the display. Very smooth. Handles it quite well. Alright. On the Droid Charge, again, no issues, nice and smooth. Looks like both of them rendered the pages perfectly. Double tap to zoom in. There we go. Actually, let me do it on exactly the same story, because that was a little bit of a lag there, and I don't know, maybe it was just that one particular story. We're having some conniptions with the Charge here. Come on, buddy, gather yourself. Don't lose it here in front on camera. Well, our Droid Charge seems to have run into some memory issues all of a sudden. Double tap to zoom in. There we go. Pinch to zoom. Dynamically reflows. There it goes. It's trying to gather itself. Well, as you can see, the 512 megabytes of RAM might be the difference. Not quite sure why, but the Droid Charge, while handling everything, certainly isn't running as smoothly, there we go, as the didn't run anywhere near as smooth as the Thunderbolt. Alright, let's head over to Engadget and see if things are a little different there. Maybe it's my site that's freaking out to Droid Charge. Again, if I had 4G connectivity located here outside of Los Angeles, I would definitely run off of that, but I don't. I think there's a pretty fair comparison of processing power between the two. And again, it was the Thunderbolt first, and we're still waiting on the Droid Charge. There we go, we've got both of them. A little sticky there at the very beginning, but seems pretty smooth now. Again, no issues with rewrapping the text to fit the display automatically, which is very nice. Rendering issues, nope, look like it rendered everything just fine, including the ads. Not quite as smooth as it was on Smartphone Envy, but it's got it. Again, sticky at the start. Feels pretty good once you get it rolling. It's a little slow when you grab it at first. There we go. That was a little better. Again, it's just not as smooth. It doesn't flow quite as well as the Thunderbolt. But it's not far off. Alright, let's give them the big time test and head over to CNN and let's try and play a video on both. We're CNN on both. I got it on one, and we're off. Again, this is the full site. We want a flash video since we have flash enabled on both. So you can spool it up quicker, see how smoothly they run, and the winner getting there is going to be the Thunderbolt, followed quickly by the other. Alright, let's fire that up. Come on, there we go.
lot of times things are right underneath our feet, and all we need to do is change the way
Noah's
we're thinking.
blissfully unknowing a lot of the things that are happening.
How much natural gas is trapped.
Both of them are having a hard time spooling up and smoothly playing the commercial.
Alzheimer's is all about time.
Once they're spooled up, they're fine, but as you can see, both of them had some issues there. See how they work when they get to the news item.
That's true. But there's still a lot of life.
That's right, Wolf. You know, Osama bin Laden and those closest to him, they made sure
That's
that they
right,
covered
Wolf.
their
You know,
tracks. They had
Osama bin
high
Laden and
privacy
those
walls.
closest to him, they
even
made
a
sure
point
that
of
they covered
burning
their tracks. They had high
But bin
privacy
Laden
walls.
also
They
seems to
even
have
made a
had
point of burning their trash.
contingency
But bin
plan.
Laden
Cash
also
and
seems to have had a
contacts on him at all
contingency
times.
plan. Cash and contacts on him at all times. Sewn into Osama bin Laden's clothes.
All right, there's a look at our browser comparison between the HTC Thunderbolt 4G and Samsung Droid Charge 4G. And it seemed to me, and again, I know you don't want my personal opinion, you're going to get a little bit anyway, that the Thunderbolt was a tad smoother with manipulating and working with web pages versus the Droid Charge, which just didn't seem to have the mental capacity to handle what the Thunderbolt had no problem with. So don't forget, stop by smartphoneMe.com, check out my winner of today's face-off along with the written review. Also have some photos and video posted from both of today's contestants. I hope that's been helpful. Take care.